Welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Joy Tarot Goddess, and this is the reading for the month of October for the sign of Taurus. Hello, Taurus. How are you? Again, this is for the month of October 2025. All right, so let's go ahead and get some divine messages here for our Taurus. All right, so I have here you lose in the reverse. Okay. Choose yourself, upright. Boundaries in the reverse. And heal your inner child, upright. And upright, God said no. All right. So I was getting some sneaky link energy. Maybe talking to somebody who you probably shouldn't be. Maybe they have a baby, a newborn, something like that. If a man is talking to you and he just had a newborn baby and the child is like under 2 years old, more than likely they're still dealing with their child's mother at some level. More than likely there's something there. And if not, there's still that delicate period between the child being born, them not being together, them trying to figure out how they're going to work it out, then you being in the picture. It's just a lot of chaos for the child, for them, for you. It's just too much. So if you're on sneaky link energy, choose yourself, heal your own inner child, deal with your own issues. So if you feel like you got mommy or daddy issues or something like that, trust issues, boundary issues, I'm seeing boundaries in the reverse, then you're going to want to check that and make sure that you don't lose, because it says you lose in the reverse, but you lose could also you lose in the reverse could also mean like you could be taking a loss, but it's not necessarily catastrophic, like your life isn't over per se, but you still are not in your best light if you're not healing your inner child and choosing wisely, and also maybe not dealing with somebody who you know that might be no good for you. Because at this point, if you see super red flags about something or somebody, just save yourself the headache. Especially since you've already been down these roads before, or you've seen people like this or whatever. Like, kind of treat yourself like you would, say a friend would tell, or say you're a therapist or something. What would your therapist tell you about this situation if you were to bring this up? You know, how would they say that you should react or respond? You know, and that pretty much gives you an answer, because there's a lack of boundaries here. Tell me more about the you lose in the reverse. Tell me more about the you lose in reverse. King of Wands. Okay, so there's a King of Wands around you, who is very, maybe, how can I say, like, charismatic, maybe a ladies' man. But I also saw something that said blessing in disguise. So if you lose this guy and you're dealing with the King of Wands who's got this like player energy, you know, kind of like all the girls like him, he's really, really cute, thinks everything, you know, and you think that like he's not paying you any attention, or he thinks the grass is greener on the other side, or he either may also be dealing with some sort of like sexual identity issue, but either way he thinks he's a king per se, and he might not be a fully realized king. He might be like a paper king, like he might have a little bit of paper in his pocket, or he might be like an imaginary king, you know, somebody that will cut their own crown and then put it on their own head, like that. Okay, then nobody crowns you but yourself. So if you're dealing with one of those people, usually they will have narcissistic behaviors. You know, they might like to be like around a lot of girls. You know, they're really charismatic, but like you just never know what they're really up to. You know, they got all kinds of shit going on, drama. Somebody was always following them in some way, especially around the concept of a girl following him or chasing him, or, you know, wanting to be with him, or, you know, girls fighting over them and all that. that's just a headache waiting to happen, because those type of people, they create those type of environments because they enjoy people fighting over them. To them, that's a sign that they have control over things, or that they did something, like they dicked somebody down real good because look, they was fighting over me. That type of person, you know. So you have a lot of people that have narcissistic male energy, where they crown themselves king. They ain't got nothing to be king about, you know. They not commander or nothing going on. They can't even control themselves, because you can see if they could control themselves, they wouldn't be all over the place with all these different dramas and people and all these different scenarios with different women and so on and so forth. I mean, a man of control doesn't have 3 and 4 women, because then you have to manage all these people. Then, you have to manage all the emotions. You got to take care of these people. Like, it's just too much. Then they want to fight each other. Then you got to be able to diplomatically get everybody through that. I mean, these people are not doing that. They want you to be in drama, cussing people out, smacking people upside the head, because, they involved with something. But I'm seeing here that there's some overspending. Okay, so maybe you were spending or overspending with this person, or maybe you're a guy, King of Wands, and you were overspending. Something about, it says overspending figure till you make it unsatisfied with work. Then it says car trouble, stalled movement, and then it says get focused. This is the Chariot in the reverse. So when I said you lose, then you might have ended up like, it might have cost you, whatever you're doing. Maybe you overspent, or maybe you had a car issue or something like that. Whatever this issue was, it was, like I said, not catastrophic, but it's something that is annoying. Okay? So with whatever situation you're going on right now, that it could be why you lose there. Choose yourself. Choose yourself. Tell me more about why Taurus should choose themselves. Why should Taurus choose themselves? Tell me about why Taurus should choose themselves for October 2025. Choose yourself, Taurus. Page of Pentacles. Yeah, because you have good ideas. You know how to build steady. You have plans. You know how to make it. You know how to put it in organization and make it. You like spreadsheets. You like to put it in order. Things like that. And so you have things going on for yourself. So if you are allowing yourself to get sidetracked when you have business going on, or you have international trade going on, you waiting for other things to manifest for you that are way away from any drama, then you have to cut your losses, especially if you like talking to somebody on a sneaky link, or hooking up with somebody that you already know is going to be a problem to your interruption. You see how I just got interrupted? How when somebody that's an interruption, right? That wasn't even like a normal clearing of the throat. That was like an interruption. Like, yeah, interruption. Okay, because they'll come and interrupt your Queen of Pentacles energy and turn it to a Seven of Pentacles, where you feeling like you are not getting your returns that you were supposed to, So if you're dealing with somebody, or a guy, or vice versa, if you're a guy and you're dealing with a woman and you feel like it's just going to turn into sour, then you don't want to do that. Okay, I'm seeing lack of boundaries here with this boundaries in the reverse. It says no, unclear, and it says get smart goals. So your boundaries are unclear. You have no boundaries, is what it's saying. Like, this look like you just pretty much let this person kind of railroad over you and roll over you if they ask you for something. Self-sabotage, buying friends, low self-esteem, coming up with the Five of Pentacles in the reverse. So maybe here in this case with the overspending, then maybe you're like hanging out with your friends, or you want to like party, or you want to like be with this person, and then you like spending money on them or spending money with them. And then you like basically self-sabotaging, because then the next time when it comes down to something for you, you can't do it. Like, if you need to get something done on your car, you're not going to do it. And this person, and it looks like you might have, say, an older car, the person who you with, they not going to help you necessarily. You're really kind of unsatisfied with the situation. So it's not even like you really all into the situations that y'all be in, but it's just like you don't maybe want to be alone. You want to lean on somebody, or you want to sing a sad song. Sometimes, like, people stay in unhealthy relationships because it's better than being in no relationship, or you feel embarrassed because then people going to ask you, well, what happened to such and such? Or you feel like, well, they do help me sometimes, and then it'd be just like, say they help you right at the right times. You know how people are when they manipulate, and they'll just come right in at the right time and then help you, right? because they want to make sure that they manipulate you correctly, where they try to help you at the right time. So that way you feel like, well, maybe I'll hit a rough time, another rough time, or hit a rock or something like that, and this person won't be there, and then I'll have to suffer alone, Or I like to just be cuddly with somebody. I just want to be with somebody at night. Or again, you want to sing a sad song. Like a lot of people, they just comfortable in these situations because maybe it like fuels their dopamine, like, okay, there's always some drama going on, it's like a rise of excitement. Then like, everything will be cool, then we will have some fun, then we'll break up, fight, then we'll get back to the we love you and this and that, or whatever, if this is love situation. But it looks like there's some other person in your situation, or there's something that came up with some sort of repair or something that is like, you need to get your boundaries clear. You need to get your goals corrected and stuff like that. It says, heal your inner child. Heal your inner child. Tell us about this for Taurus. Heal your inner child for Taurus. Heal your inner child. Heal your inner child. The Emperor, upright. The Father, leadership, strict rules. So you need to talk to God about your inner child, like, or you having a father issue. This could be like daddy issue. So if you leaning on a guy who you know is not good for you, and you know that this person rolls over you, or they be asking you for money, and you know that he basically ain't giving you what you need, but he always in your pocket because he know you keep the money right, then he's just using you. And basically, a lot of guys, they leech on women that they know are Nine of Pentacles just to drain them in real life. Like, there's a guy who will be like, well, I'm cute, or I got a nice wine, so she is got money, which is something that they want, right? Because men operate under Wands and Pentacles energy. So if you're dealing with somebody and they got the wand, but they ain't got the money, then they're going to go find a woman that has the money, right? Then they'll leech off you, take all your energy, suck all your energy, right? Do whatever they doing till they use you up, drive you nuts, maybe cheat on you while they try to balance themselves to go find the next person that they can leech off of. You get what I'm saying? So that's what people do. But you got to heal your inner child about your father, and you really have to just move forward, because at some level, depending on how old you are, it's easier to drop the situation and be like, okay, if you're 40 and you got your dad abandoned you when you was like 3 or 4 or 5, or you never saw this person, they was never in your life, and you still managed to survive, you are fine. Why? Because they wasn't supposed to be in your life. Why? Because if they would have been around in your life, God only knows what would have happened. You think it would have been a happy family, and you think that you would have grew up and you would have had kumbaya. And you might have even thinking that your life might have been less than par growing up. But if you know and you have control now, so you can make it as good as you want, right? So whatever happened in the past, you still made it, right? So you survived. And I'm sure that it taught you a lot of things on how to survive, how to deal in hard times, how to be able to manage both like male and feminine energy if you're a female. So if you do have a child and that ever happens to you, you always know how to make sure that you both give good advice as a father would. You also give nurturing advice as a mom would do. You know how to do both. So it gives you some different levels of access of information that another person that kind of had both might not have. Okay, believe it or not. So with that said, if you're dealing with a guy, if you're dealing with a person and they're not treating you good, you don't like them, and you feel like, or you do like them, but you know that they're not treating you good, they railroad over you, something like that, they asking you for money and things, it's like you're buying their friendship. Or if you have friends that you got to go be around, and then you got to pay for them, then you got to do this for them, you're buying their friendship if you still want to be around them. And you don't have the boundaries to tell these people no when they ask you for something. Why? Because you think that if you tell them no, then they're gonna be mad at you. But they gotta produce too. They gotta do things for themselves as well. And you don't want to be in a relationship with a guy who doesn't advance you. You want to be the person that does a little bit more than you do, or can show you something that you don't have. Why would you want to be with a person who is beneath you? Unless you're looking for a level of control. Now that's when it comes down to healing your inner child, and you have to ask yourself, okay, do I date guys who are beneath me, so that way I can son them and make them come to me for money, because these other girls do not have the money, So they gotta come report to me, like that type of stuff. Some girls operate like that, where they feel like they in control. Oh, I got him. He ain't going nowhere. He know I'm the one that make the money. Blah 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 blah. But remember that men are supposed to be the ones making the money. They supposed to come with the pinnacle and the wand. You supposed to come with the cup and the logic of the swords. You see what I'm saying? So it's like at the end of the day, what are they bringing? They just bringing wands. You get me? So, I mean, unless you want to date your father, but if you feel like your father was a rolling stone and you see that same trait in your person, or your father's a liar and you see that the other person just lie all the time or something like that, then it's like, why even talk to a person who's lying, especially if you know they lying? You know they lying. You could tell when people be lying. All you gotta do is just look at them straight in their face and ask them questions, but don't get all hyped about it. Just be asking them questions and just ask them logical questions. So, well, what was you thinking when you did that? Or what was that about? Or not like, what the fuck? What was that? Like that. It's almost like, oh, I just wanted to find out what was going on with that, or whatever. You have to talk like, I want to understand your I want to understand you. I want to understand you. I want to understand your psychology, how you rolling. That's how you gotta treat people, because then they'll tell you the information, and they always tell you exactly what they be doing. They just don't want to come out and say it. And a lot of times, men do be fantasizing that they do believe that they should have multiple women. So if you're dealing with a situation where a guy not only is getting your money, but he's trying to go over and date another girl and probably getting her money too, then to them it's like a game. Because they know girls is like want to be married and stuff. So they think that they can play people because they are playing off of your desire and your programming to be married or to want to have relationship and be in a marriage. Every man is not marriage material. And if he is, he's supposed to bring you the pinnacle. He's supposed to go out, kill the animal, right? Hunt the animals down, right? Get the resources for you, bring them back to the family, skin the animal, basically give you the animal, then you cook the animal. You know what I'm saying? For y'all to eat. That's how you're supposed to be. So technically, when you are the one that has the money, then you're in the male energy. You're in the masculine energy when you are the one that has the most amount of money. And then he's going to either submit, not saying like a B, but at this point, men have turned into women a little bit. Like in their case, like they start to behave like females. And the older that they get, the more they turn, like I think they hormone levels change as well. So their testosterone go down. And they just like, they want to be taken care of too, which is why you see so many men right now doing different things for pay, because it's just easier to do it that way, because they want to be somebody's sugar baby too, So I would say heal your inner child with your father. A lot of people have grown up with their father, without their father in the household. And so if you have that issue where you feel like that, it's like, okay, so you're not alone in that issue. Remember that this is a program. Remember that was the program, was to make it all illusion that you didn't have a father figure in the home, so that when they pull in the second phase of the program where they make these toxic men because they also didn't have a male in the household, then you're accepting of their toxic behavior, which will keep you in the loop of going around the circle with the person who's toxic, instead of breaking away and going to find somebody who you can go build with in real life. But he also has to be not a toxic person. He has to be aware. So that way he know that that's what he's looking for too. So when he see you, he's able to identify you instead of trying to play you like you just date. Especially if you've been dating for, y'all been seeing each other for 6 months, but y'all not boyfriend and girlfriend yet. He's in your bed every night, and y'all going out with each other every day. Y'all with each other every weekend. He at your house, you at his house, if you even have a house. But he always up at your spot, but he not your boyfriend on paper, right? He not gonna put that label on you, like. So it's just like, if you don't have people that's like wanting to do that, then what are they there for? Just ask them that. Why are you here? What kind of relationship are you looking for? Oh, I just want to see how it goes. Okay, well, we done seen how it goes. We done been around each other for about 6 months. We've been doing everything we're supposed to do. Are you satisfied? Do you like the situation? Okay, good. Okay, well, are we moving forward with the situation? Are we moving forward? Or is this just going to be, just like a smash and grab or until you fill out or until it fizz out? And then don't force a situation where you're not seeing that person also trying to progress you too. Because a man that wants to be married to you, they're not going to hold you on hold for, you know, all that time if you're intimate with them. And they're going to be want to ask you questions. They're going to start saying, you going to be my girlfriend? You going to be my girlfriend? You almost get annoyed. Like, what are you talking about with my girlfriend? What do you mean? You know what I mean? That's the kind of guy you want. Not the one that you got to be asking him, what we doing? And all of this like that. That's like you proposing to him or something, So heal your inner child with the Father. Realize that there's a lot of people have grown up without fathers. Kick that out the bucket. Remember that was a program that they put in the certain demos, and that's just what it is. And that's just to see how you react when they want to roll out another program. If you're gonna end up in another box or another situation that they've already pre-programmed. You get what I'm saying? So you got to break out of that. And the first thing is to just forgive or move forward from your father. And if they not a trustworthy father and you realize that they have disappointed you over the years, they just like any other man. Recognize what it is, realize that they haven't grown, and move on. Because you have a life to live, and especially if you're grown, hey, did you need them all this time? Okay, what are they providing for you? Did they give you anything lately? And if they didn't, who cares? It didn't even matter because was they there the whole time? And if not, then it wasn't supposed to be that way. You have already grown, and there's nothing that you can really do besides say, I'm sorry about not being there, and try to have a better bond in the future. But carrying weight about what happened, what didn't happen, how, you was, that you wanted to go somewhere and your parent didn't show up, or this didn't happen, or that didn't happen, or they were supposed to take you somewhere when you was 13, 15, and it didn't happen, and you're like 30. It's like, you have to move forward. So heal your inner child. And then God said no about something. So let's find out about what's going on. God said no. And I'm going to close out your reading. God said no about this Knight of Wands. Yeah, he just wants to hit it anyway. This guy is just a hit it and quit it guy. He's not for you. God said no. So if you, and he might even be in trouble with the law, or he has had trouble with the law. This guy, if you have a guy that has had trouble with the law, and they have hurt someone in some capacity, or they are in trouble with their own child's mother about child support and about seeing their kid, or if they go through a lot of drama with their own former child, with their other children, financially, from a Page of Pentacles perspective, where I'm looking at these cards, the Page of Pentacles on the top, the Emperor, and then it's running right into the Justice card. It's like with the Knight of Swords to the left and the Knight of Wands to the left and the Knight of Swords to the right. It's like this guy is not the kind of guy. He'll hit it and quit it, get you pregnant, leave you, okay, because your grass to him is dead, okay, leave you with a baby, and just pay child support if you get pregnant by this person. So unless you want to put your child through that same thing and that same programming, then you would probably want to make a different decision, especially since you were Taurus, and we know that you lived in Queen and King of Pentacles energy. All right, so hope that helps you for the month of October, but you need to get very clear, get some boundaries, stop worrying about if somebody reject you or you be away from somebody. Stop worrying about if they don't call that day or you don't talk to them. If they not doing what you want them to do, they not for you. Move on. It's okay. And remember that men like to date more than one woman at a time. If you can date other people more than once. You just don't have to have sex with them. You date them. You find out and as a matter of fact, you can really find out who they are within a date or two. You don't even have to have sex with them at all. And you can really tell who they are, what they're about, all the crap all the BS that they're going to throw you. You can just tell that over a couple of dates. Don't make it so soon and go so deep so fast. Recognize what they are from the gate. All right. Hope that helps, Taurus. See you all next month. All right. And again, this is Joy Tarot Goddess. Hit the like button and make sure you subscribe so that you can be notified when I go live again with a reading.